G'day everyone, Robot Man here. Today we're going to look at the colour/light sensor in your Spike Prime kits, and we're going to work out the best ways to use it and whether or not it's better to use colour or light. This is a simple car that I've made. Just plug the motors into maybe C and D. Incidentally, on here there's kind of a gold side and a white side. The white side always goes on top. That might help you plug things in the future. I've just made two motors and a ball, and we're going to add a sensor. So I found the best way to add a sensor, we need it to face down. You could just put it in those holes there, have it facing down there, like that. It gives you a little bit of distance between the ground and the sensor. You don't want it sitting flat on the ground. And then I'm just going to plug it into port B. We've told the hub where the motors are plugged in. That's really important. I'll just connect so we can verify the ports and everything. If you look up here, you can see that the motors are plugged into C and D and the sensor is plugged into B. At the moment, the sensor is selected on colour, and at the moment you can see black. I've made a very simple program here that says it's going to go start moving forward until it sees white, and it's going to go backwards for 2 seconds, and then it's going to go forward again. It's going to loop round and round and round and round here. I go forward, see the white line, go backwards, go forward, see the white line, go backwards, go forwards, and yeah, it'll do it at a speed of 80%. Alright, let's try 50% to start with. And it's just going to see white and then go backwards. So it's going backwards, so I reckon the easiest way is just to swap these motors around like that, and we can try it again. It's pretty good. No problemo. We'll try 85%. Okay, so really didn't stop in time. I mean, one of the solutions would be just to move the sensor out further, so that would stop in time. We could do that with a biscuit. I might just try that for fun, see if the speed's any better. Alright, try 85% again. It's working pretty good. That's with the colour sensor being white. Let's try it with, instead of colour, we're going to sense brightness or reflected light intensity. So reflected light intensity is how much light is reflected. And the interesting thing about the reflected light intensity that I used to worry about was how much light was coming in the room, if the lights were turned on, if the curtains were drawn. But apparently this just emits its own frequency of light, and it only calculates it based on its own light, not on anything else's light. So it really doesn't matter about whether or not the curtains are open or how much light's in the room or if someone's shining a torch on it. So if you look at the screen now, you can see that when it's on black, it only reflects a certain amount of light. I mean, it also depends on how high the sensor is off the ground and how much light it will reflect. It actually still works when it's flat to the ground. See, it's 1% light there, but if you put it on the white, it still reflects a lot of light and still reads it. I used to think it had to be off the ground, but it can actually be flat. But you will get a different reading on how, depending on how high it is. So the higher it is, the less light it's obviously going to reflect. So if you've got a robot up here, your numbers are like 15%, but if it's down low, it can be up to 100 or 99%. Okay? Let's just put it here, and we'll take note of how much light it's reflecting when it's on black. At the moment, it's reflecting about 16% light, and when it's on white, it's around 97% white. So we just need our code to kind of reflect that sort of data, if you know what I mean. Let's go back to 50%. That's the speed, and instead of going colour, we're going to get rid of that one, and we're going to add in the option to do reflected light intensity. So here we need to change it to a greater than sign, because when it's greater than the black, in other words, when it's greater than 15% or something, we're going to make it go backwards. So let's just be safe, and we could say when it's greater than 20. So when it's greater than 20, at the moment it's about 15, 16. When it's greater than that, when it's greater than 20, so anything above 20, like 95, will make it go backwards. Alright, so let's go for reflected light intensity. Let's see if it works. Yeah, no problem. Okay, I'll just add a couple of biscuits. One biscuit. And 99 should still work. Well, 99 worked for the colour sensor. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't work. So I don't think there's a lot of difference. There's not a lot of difference between using colour and light for this sort of example when it's black and white. But I've seen it be less reliable with colour. If you've got a colour like this, see it? Yeah, no problemo, but it's nice and close. But if it's not nice and close, what does it see, my furry friends? Let's have a look at this. What does that see? Still seeing the turquoise aqua colour. Yeah. This colour. Ooh, doesn't really see that. Not very good, is it? Doesn't see the colour. It's a bit high probably. Let's try low. Now it sees it. So you need to have it fairly low to see some colours. Oh, look at that. It's seeing blue because look, it's too close to the ball bearing. Like that. Alright, let's go. When it sees red, we want it to go backwards. Is it going to work? You bet it is. As you can see, there are other options in the sensor besides reflected light and colour. You can choose red, green or blue, and I really haven't found a purpose for these yet. I'm not really sure why you'd want to find out how much red the sensor sees, but if you do, if you know how to use it, if you've got a reason for using that, can you write about it in the comments? That'd be awesome. With the colour sensor, it's facing straight down. It's okay, but I often use it facing a wall because one of my activities, kids build a robot that goes through a maze, and sometimes I advise the kids to build the sensor going on a bit of an angle, and then it doesn't seem to reflect or shine as much into the sensor, and I think you get a more accurate color reading. But definitely for reflective light, I think, you know, parallel to the ground or parallel to the wall is the way to go, so you get a good reading of reflected light. I honestly think reflective light is better. I think it's more accurate and I think it's more useful, because if you're detecting colours, then it has to be very specific colours. For example, if you're trying to detect silver or something, it might come up as white. I think colour sensors are better for younger students, and the light sensor is better for older students. But it really depends on the task at hand. Often it's obvious which one to use. But the important thing often is the distance between the sensor and the object it's sort of scanning. And I found that the colour sensor with my maze activity gets a bit confused between the red bricks and the magenta bricks or the pink bricks. So I don't use them together. I separate those so that some kids have got red bricks and some kids have got magenta bricks. Let's finish up by turning our little robot into a Sumo Wrestling battle bot. We've got to go to our colour sensor block there, which is the blue block, and we're going to change it so that it senses white instead of red. And now we need to add a little bit of a turn in there. So in the menu we're going to go pink block, which says make it turn right. You can go right or left, negative 100 or 100. If it does negative 100 or 100, it will spin, and we'll just make it do it that for 1.5 rotations. And now we'll go forwards to the white line, go backwards and turn, go forwards to the white line, go backwards and turn, go forwards to the white line. To make things more interesting, we could add the distance sensor. And so when it comes within 8 centimeters or 4 centimeters or however how many centimeters you want, we can get the robot to react to another robot. So we could say, for example, when it gets within 4 centimeters, we'll play a sound, and we can choose any sound we like. We can even search for a sound, like a monster sound, and add that to our robot by selecting it. After you close the crosshair, you can select it as a monster sound, and then after it plays a sound, we can get another motor, which might be plugged into port E or something, to spin around maybe a couple of times. So you could have some sort of weapon on your robot. When it sees the other robot, it's going to activate the weapon. It'd be great if you could write something in the comments about how you use a light sensor, or something that you've noticed about the light or colour sensor. I try to answer most comments actually, so nearly everyone that comments I'll write an answer to if you ask me a question. May the light source be with you.